Welcome everyone. Today we'll be seeing about the gingiva, its clinical correlation. So basically the clinical features of gingiva will be discussed today. So these are all the topics that I'll be covering. That is the normal color, contour, consistency, size and shape, and the surface texture and the position of the gingiva in its normal features. So first we will look into the color of the gingiva. The color of the gingiva is classically called as coral pink. Now we'll see what are all the factors that determines the color of the gingiva. So this color is determined by the underlying vascular supply, the thickness and the degree of keratinization of the epithelium, and also the presence of the pigment containing cells like the melanocytes. So next being the contour of the gingiva. The normal contour of the gingiva is called as the scalloping. So the gingival margin is scallop. Now this depends upon the shape of the teeth and the alignment of the teeth in the arch and the location and size of the area of the proximal contact and the dimensions of the facial and the lingual gingival embrasures. So in this image we can see a more accentuated contouring, that is a deepened scalloped structure in cases of the teeth which are more labially placed. But when you look into this particular teeth in the lower incisor region, which is more lingually placed, the scalloping is more flattened. So this is a more accentuated contour and this is a more flattened contour. So scalloping can be either exaggerated or it could be more flattened also. So the next feature is being the consistency. The normal consistency of the gingiva is called as firm and resilient. Resiliency particularly relates to its bounce back phenomenon, which you usually correlate with that of a mattress. So as I said, the normal consistency is firm and resilient. The gingival margin shows its firmness because of the underlying gingival fibers. But whereas in case of attached gingiva, it is more firm and resilient because of the collagenous nature of the lamina propria, that is the connective tissue, and its contiguity with the mucoperiosteum of the alveolar bone. Now this is how you will be checking for the consistency with the lateral surface of the probe. You apply a mild pressure on the marginal and the attached gingiva and look for the inundation to appear on the gingival surface. Next is the size of the gingiva. This is determined by all three components, one being the cellular, then the intercellular elements, and also the vascular supply. So the size is a sum total of the bulk of all three, which determines the size of the gingiva. Next being the shape. The shape particularly correlates to the interdental gingiva shape. So this is governed by the contour of the proximal tooth surface, how more curved it is or more flattened it be, and the location and shape of the gingival embrasure. So in detail, when you look into the cross section of an anterior teeth, the interdental gingiva or the interdental papilla is more of a pyramidal in form. But whereas in the molar region it is called as a caul shape because of a valley-like depression that happens connecting between the buccal and the lingual papilla. So this is mainly because of the positioning of the contact point in the proximal surface almost at the mid-tooth level. Before we move into the next feature of the gingiva, I think you closely observe this image. This is an orange. Now, can you just find some similarities between two? Yes. On the surface, it more or less appears the same. So the next feature is called as a surface texture. So this is correlated to that of an orange peel appearance, and it is called clinically as presence of stippling. So this is mainly because of the alternative elevations and depressions of the gingival epithelium, which corresponds to the underlying elevations of the retipex and also the the connective tissue papilla that projects into the epithelium. So this occurs on the surface as elevations and depressions. So that is clinically corresponded and called as stippling. So this is a form of adaptive specialization and reinforcement for function. This is a feature of a healthy gingiva. Next is the position of the gingiva. This is the level at which the gingival margin is getting attached to the tooth surface. Now the point of attachment will be always at the level of the cemento-enamel junction, but it raises above, forming a gingival sulcus, and the gingival margin is above the level of the cemento-enamel junction, at least 1 to 2 mm above the level of the CEJ. This is a normal feature. So to summarize, the color is pink with melanin pigmentation, the contour is scalloped, consistency is firm and resilient, the size is a combination of cellular, intercellular and the vascular elements. The shape is more or less a pyramidal shape or a coil shape in case of the posteriors, and the surface texture is stippled, and the position of the gingiva is at or above the level of the cemento-enamel junction. I hope you would have got some gist about what is the normal clinical features of the gingiva. The macroscopic features were discussed, and the underlying microscopic features were also discussed, not much in detail, but further presentations will discuss about the microscopic features and also the features of the gingiva during disease condition. Thank you. Thank you very much for the patient listening.